have some new goodies. Can y'all guess what this is going to go on? Go ahead, leave your guesses down below. Now's the time to write a comment on the guess. This is what it looks like. If you guessed the C10, the C10 already has one. This one is larger diameter. This one's 2.5 inch. The C10 was 2 1/4. So what else would have this? Suburban has a MagnaFlow. If you guessed, you would be correct. So, what the 300D has for an exhaust is it's got this big resonator here, and then it's got a muffler right there. So we're actually going to replace the resonator with the glass pack. It's the same length, so we should be able to just cut this one out and weld the muffler right in. So we'll see how that works out. It's the same length and it should be the same diameter. So we're gonna jack it up, and I'll get the Sawzall. We'll cut that. We'll do some measuring first, then we'll cut the cut that resonator off. We'll do a sound test. We'll do a couple sound tests. We'll do one with just just like it is now. I'll set up the camera. Then we'll do another sound test with the resonator cut off. See how that sounds. And then we'll do a sound test with the glass pack on. So I'll set y'all up. We'll do the before sound test right now. I think what I'll do though is I'm gonna put all the sound tests at the end of this video, and that way you can hear them back to back. So yep, let's get this one. I'm gonna do the sound test, but the next scene y'all will see is me cutting this resonator off. This thing weighs a ton. It's probably full of soot. You can see every time I do that, it gets stuff out. So I went ahead and cut this piece off. This will be our tailpipe, of course. This will weld onto the end of that. This is it's bigger than 2 1/4, but it's smaller than 2 1/2. So we're going to have to do a little bit of bridging on our welding, but I'll clean these up, make them weld well, and we may end up having to trim a little bit off of that muffler just to get it a little bit shorter. I think it's going to be a little bit on the long side. We got plenty of material here on the muffler to weld onto the pipe. If I'm looking, well, it's about right, but it would be better if I trimmed a little off, because I'm gonna have to shove it all the way, pretty much shove it all the way in, and I can't weld it. There's a bigger gap, so I really need to have it about right here. So I probably need to trim off maybe 1 inch on each end. There's a little bit more, and it'll be about right. But let's do our sound test without muffler. Got the welding machine out, and I got the end welded on. Of course, I cut about an inch off of each end and then ground the paint off so I can get a good weld. Ground the paint off of the pipe there and the pipe here where I'm going to be welding. And so this pipe is smaller than the muffler inlet, and so I had to I spaced out the pipe with the little nails, and so it was even all the way around, and I had to bridge about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around with weld. Like I said, this stuff is bigger than 2 1/4, but it seems to be smaller than 2 1/2. So did the best I could with what I got, and we'll go with that. Have a feeling a 2 1/2 inch, let's see, 2 1/2 inch OD, that would be perfect. I think the muffler's probably 2 1/2 ID. Not sure, not positive, but just guessing. So we need to put the this glass pack doesn't matter on the inlet and outlet, so either end, but we're gonna put it up in position, get it all lined up. I'll have to space that end out with the little nails and get a few tacks on it, then pull them out, and that'll get it even all the way around, so I'm not butted up on one side and trying to weld a 1/8 of an inch gap on the other. But worked out pretty well. I don't have bottle set up. I'm using flux core, so this stuff is not the easiest. It's really thin, and it's not the easiest to do with flux core, but it was really trying to burn through it. And that's welding on B setting, and I'm pretty sure this wire is not even, we're on B. I don't even think you're supposed to run B on this wire. I think you may be able to. Let's see. We're running 0.35. Let's see. Shielding gas, none. And we are running 0.35. Oh, you can run it on B. So yeah, B's, it really should be run on A probably for this thin of stuff. Because it really, the stock pipe itself seemed pretty decent. I wasn't blowing through it, but the muffler must be some thinner stuff, and it kept blowing through the muffler. So we'll get it up. I'll get it up there and weld it on. I'm not gonna video the welding because I don't want to ruin. It's probably not good for the lens on my camera. All right, and if you're wondering what I'm doing here, probably in the previous video, depending on how I post them, you saw where I move those, I pulled those calipers off the parts car and threw them on here, and I did not check to see if they were seized. I assumed wrong, and those calipers are no good, so they're coming back off, and we're gonna put the original one back on the right side because it was okay, and I'm gonna buy a rebuilt one for the left side. So I'm in the process of doing that. I'm not gonna video that because I videoed doing the calipers and stuff in the last video. I'm just having to redo it now. So anyway, back to this other task. I took a break, kind of been working on both, but not the easiest to get in there and weld it, but I got up in there and welded it, and it is good. And it's pretty quiet. Quieter than I thought it'd be. Like I said, I could have, it's got that muffler on the front. I could have put a piece of straight pipe right here and, been fine. But I do want to eventually put a piece of pipe where that muffler is. That's another day's project. Or I may just take it to the muffler shop and have them do it, because that one's really a pain to get to. way up under there, so I might just let them put it up on their lift and throw a piece of pipe in there. It'd probably be pretty cheap. So wanted to have some kind of muffler, and I figured a glass pack would be good. I don't want to straight pipe this thing, so like I said, figured glass pack's good, and the glass pack was the perfect length to fit right there. The other would have been a bit of a short spot, and I didn't want to, you know, that would have put it lower to the ground where it could possibly hit stuff. So here it is, installed. I'm gonna we'll go ahead and do the sound, and I guess y'all are actually about to hear all 3 sound clips, so let's see what they sound like. Alright, so you just heard all 3 clips. The first clip, you know, with the original muffler, you really can't hear the turbo at all. Second clip's got a nice, deep, throaty diesel sound with, you know, you can hear the turbo whine pretty good there. And then with the glass pack, it's mellowed down a little bit. You can still hear the turbo whine though. So it's kind of like a, I guess you call it a medium in between the two. But it is going, it will probably be, once I remove the other muffler, it will probably be at least as loud as it was with this muffler cut off. It might be about the same. Well, we'll see. Like I said, I'll drive it, see how I like it, and if I want it to be a little bit louder, I'll do the other muffler. But yeah, I definitely had decided that I wanted a glass pack on here, whether it's a glass pack and and the original muffler, or, you know, just a glass pack. I wasn't sure, so I figured I'd start right there, put a glass pack right there, and you know, see how that sounded. And I like it for now, you know. Not bad for, I think it's like $25 or something. I'll put a link in the description. They're cheap. They're 26, 27, I don't know. It's under, I think it was under $30 for that muffler. And it pretty much fit right in there. Like I said, I trimmed just a little bit off the muffler. It does need to be welded because of the gap. You couldn't clamp it and get it to tighten up that much, so like I said, you'd have to weld it. Now let's see how much soot comes out of this thing. This thing is heavy. Look at all that soot. And you can bet that other muffler under there is full of soot too. So that's a lot. That thing weighs a lot. But it is original. You know, 30-something-year-old muffler. It's like they painted the whole exhaust, and you know, it shows it held up well. Plus, it's good thick metal on all the pipe. So, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more. And let me know what you think. Put a comment down below on which one you like the best, and I'll update y'all and let y'all know what it sounds like, you know, cruising down the road. Make sure it doesn't have any drone or anything in it. I don't think it will. You know, it seems pretty quiet, so I think it'll be fine.